This is the world's vaping heartland, a 5-square-mile district of Shenzhen, China, the source of 90% of the vape industry supply chain.
Yes, we're ready.
Where hundreds of Chinese factories are making, testing, and exporting nearly every vaping product on the planet, from circuit boards and batteries to liquid-filled pods.
So it looks like business is booming.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the business is so good and the market is growing so fast.
We were given special access to production lines and testing labs here to show where it all begins before reaching store shelves and vape shops. China made the first e-cigarette back in 2003. Now vaping more popular than ever.
This factory alone makes 200,000 of these every single day.
A $12 billion global market that is largely unregulated. The vaping monopoly centered here has boomed with little oversight.
The market will make the judgment. If the low-quality products, they will not be able to survive in the market.
Only now, with a vaping scare sweeping the U.S., is China's government considering rules to ease even its own safety concerns. Last year, state officials revealed in a document that Chinese e-cigarettes vary in quality and may pose safety risks such as liquid leakages, substandard batteries, and the addition of unsafe ingredients. Something to keep in mind here, China is a country of smokers, like hundreds of millions of people consuming trillions of cigarettes a year. The biggest cigarette maker on earth is owned by the Chinese state and generates serious cash for the government, roughly 11% of the country's tax revenues. E-cigarettes compete with the real ones. American health experts looking into hundreds of vape-related illnesses in over 30 states and at least 7 deaths say they can't point to any one product, Chinese or otherwise, as the culprit.
Most users are not going to know what is in the e-cigarettes or vaping products that they buy. We are recommending people not buy products off the street and not modify them further beyond what is intended by the manufacturer. But there are diverse chemicals and substances in e-cigarettes and vaping products.
With a lack of regulation in China, e-cigarette producers like Danny Zhu say they've long had their own strict quality controls at factories following standards required by the FDA and European regulators. Why should Americans worry about Chinese-produced e-cigarettes, he asks. I think they shouldn't. You can see we're very strict about production, management, safety, and quality control. Quality is our lifeline, he adds. Small workshops and counterfeiters use whatever they can, materials that could be unsafe to human health. It's unclear how many cut-rate workshops might be out there. Last year, Juul Labs took federal legal action in the U.S. against 30 Chinese entities known to be counterfeiting their device and selling them online. As for those new rules, China's government says they're officially in the works, but it could be months before they take effect, and nobody is saying how they'll go about enforcing them.
Are you worried about more regulation?
Not at all. I think a regulated market is a good thing because all those low-quality products will be driven out of the market.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.